This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for Janis, Little Girl Blue, and it stars through archive footage, or interviews or whatever, because it is a documentary. It stars Janis Joplin, Kat Powers, Peter Ablin, Sam Andrews, Carlene Bennett, Dick Cavett, John Cook, David Dalton, Cornelius Flowers, uh, Country Joe McDonald, Clive Davis, Melissa Etheridge, Dave Getz, Lauren Joplin, Michael Joplin, which are Janis Joplin's siblings, Julius Carpin, uh, Juliette Lewis, Pink, the singer, J. Davis Moriarty, Dave Nihias, I think that's how you say it, D. A. Panabaker, Travis Rivers, Powell St. John, Bob Wire, and Jay Whitaker. Chris Christopherson, Cass Elliot, Jimi Hendrix, John Lennon, Yoko Ono, God fucking damn it, and Otis Redding. So yeah, the last few, Christopherson, Elliott, Hendrix, Lennon, Ono, and Redding, they were through archive footage. Pretty interesting, through archive footage of the Woodstock concert, 1970 Woodstock concert. So yeah, and then the rest were just interviews or archive footage. So yeah. Now, before I begin, though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning because as usual I did. So yeah, this is a documentary. Yeah, synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So yeah, this is a documentary on Janis Joplin, her life, and yeah, one quick question before I actually get into the review. You'll say my likes and dislikes. Is it just me, or have there been like too many movies about the 27 Club this year? I'm being serious. And for those who don't know what the 27 Club is, it's basically a group of musicians who have died at the age of 27. I mean, seriously, we just got Janis Joplin. We had Kurt Cobain. We had two movies about Kurt Cobain this year. One of them, which I've watched. The other one I haven't. One of them, the one I haven't watched, is called Soaked in Bleach, which is a nod to the Bleach album, which I have. And then the other one is Montage of Heck, which is a nod towards the song Montage of Heck that he did while he was doing Fecal Matter, the band. And then we also had a documentary on Amy Winehouse. Yeah, Amy Winehouse. Yeah. So yeah, we had a documentary on Amy Winehouse, called Amy, which I hear is going to probably be nominated for something in the Academy Awards, Best Documentary probably, because they don't nominate documentaries for Best Picture. Um, so yeah, I mean, all we really need is a Brian Jones movie and a Jim Morrison movie, because we had a Jimi Hendrix movie last year actually, or one or two Hendrix movies last year, and then you had Hendrix in this movie to begin with also. So yeah, we just need what is it? Rolling Stones and Doors. Yeah, Jim Morrison's from the Doors, and a Doors movie, and we're all done. I don't think they've ever done a movie for Jim Morrison or the Doors. I don't think so. Same with the Rolling Stones, and Jones. Whatever. So yeah, too many. I'm probably looking into it, but there's been too many 27 Club movies in the past past 2 years, year and a half, whatever. Yeah, because we had like two Jimi Hendrix movies come out like last year, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, got off topic. Back to review again. Documentary on Janis Joplin, her rise to fame and her eventual death. I mean, how is any documentary gonna go? Let's be honest. How is a documentary gonna go like this? It's gonna be their rise to fame, how they began rise to fame, and then their death. I'm gonna start off with saying that I never, before this movie, I never actually listened to a Janis Joplin song at all. Never. I'm not gonna say I never was a big fan of hers or a fan of hers to begin with, because I never really heard any of her music. Um, I don't know. I never just. I guess I never thought of listening to her music. I think is the issue. But after watching this movie, I did download a crap ton of her music. Again, she's got a really raw voice, which is something I always knew. But something I always knew. I knew she had a raw voice. Um, it's kind of raspy, but it works for her. So yeah. And overall, it's a pretty good documentary, showing the rise and fame. I think my favorite part was some of the Woodstock footage. I thought that was interesting, and her, I wouldn't say addiction, because unlike Amy Winehouse or Kurt Cobain, they don't really focus on her drug addiction, because she really didn't have that huge of a drug addiction to begin with. I mean, she did do heroin from time to time, cocaine and whatever, weed, but she never really enjoyed it. She kind of just did it for the moment, for like for about a month, and then she's like, "I'm gonna be clean for like the next 3 years," and that's how it was. It's not like the Amy Winehouse or Kurt Cobain documentaries that came out this year, where they focus a little bit too much on the drug addiction aspects of the movie. Here they kind of focus more on the music, which is what I like. They focused a bit more on the music, and showed her more as a joyous individual. How she enjoyed life. So yeah, I mean, there was actually some pretty funny moments throughout the film, when some of the people who met her or who were with her or whatever. There's some funny moments where they were describing her, and I forgot who said it, but there was this one point where she was dating this guy from another band. I'm not sure. Cornelius, I believe it was the guy's name. Cornelius Flowers. Yeah. I guess they were dating for some time, and one of the band members from Cornelius's band was like, you could hear them in the room next door, and you could just hear Janis be like, "Oh daddy, oh daddy, oh daddy," and everybody in that audience was laughing. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious what they were doing. Um, so yeah, it is actually a pretty funny movie. Like, it's not overly comedic. They don't. It's a documentary, so they're not trying to make it overly comedic. But there are some genuinely funny moments, even in the archive footage, where you just see Janis Joplin smiling or whatever, during her concerts, and it just brings a smile to your face, which is something that the Kurt Cobain documentary, Montage of Heck, and the Amy documentary, which is titled Amy, they didn't really have that many joyous moments. When you compare, I'm gonna have to compare them to those other two films, because they're also based on musicians who died at 27. Unlike those two films, they didn't really focus that much on their glorious, joyous moments. Um, those two films focus more on their downer moments. Here, they focus more on her joyous moments, which is, I guess, a good change. Now, if I compare them to the other two, I'm gonna say that I like the Kurt Cobain one better, just because I'm a huge fan of Kurt Cobain. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Kurt Cobain, so I'd say the Kurt Cobain one is still my favorite documentary of this year. It's not the best documentary I've ever seen. The best documentary I've ever seen, and it's gonna sound morbid as all shit, but it's one on the Columbine shooting. And no, it's not Bowling for Columbine, before you ask. I actually haven't seen Bowling for Columbine. It's another one. I forgot what it's called though. It's on YouTube. It's more of a documentary short, if anything. I guess you could argue, but that's a whole different issue. But yeah, I would say Kurt Cobain is probably my second favorite documentary. Janis Joplin, this one, Janis, it would probably go within my top 5 favorite documentaries. Thing is, I don't watch that many documentaries to begin with, so I mean, I haven't really watched that many documentaries. It's more in the recent years in which I've been paying more attention to documentaries. So yeah, overall though, I really did like it. It got me to download a lot of her songs. Again, really great singer. Um, yeah, really actually did like it a lot. It's really great, and yeah, kind of. I really want to see a Jimi Hendrix documentary. If we're gonna go with 27 Club, we've seen a movie with Jimi Hendrix. Now let's see the actual documentary for him. Um, yeah, why not? So, I mean, yeah, overall, really great. I mean, if there's one negative I could figure out in this film, I mean, they explain like why she was down on her luck from time to time, but how do I say this? Like, they explain why she's down on her luck, why she's sad from time to time, and why her depression is. But I feel like at the end they kind of messed it up a bit, because she dies of a overdose as well. But I feel like the footage just showed right before that, it was her being happy and all joyous as they portrayed her throughout the whole film. Then at the end, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, she kind of died of an overdose. It felt kind of tacked on, like her death scene, I guess, or like her death mention, I guess, if that makes sense. It felt kind of tacked on. Like it just felt weird the way they kind of ended it. And something that I noticed that some of these documentaries just don't do, like I noticed it with the Amy Winehouse documentary, and I noticed it with the Kurt Cobain documentary. They don't focus on the reaction of the fans, how they don't really show any fan reactions to the death. They kind of they always kind of end like, oh, by the way, they died on this day due to this reason, and then they kind of just end with with some videos of a concert they're in, and it's just kind of weird. I always want to know what the I mean I already know what the reaction is. You know, people are gonna be sad, people are gonna be crying, they're gonna be mourning, but I want to see like those reactions of fans or people saying, you know, how this artist influenced their life, how, you know, how they make great music, etc., etc., etc. That's something that I've seen. This movie, the Amy Winehouse movie and the Kurt Cobain movie, do that they never really go that far in depth with the death and how audience react to it. However, this in this movie they do show the reaction of the family members, or of her friends, which is something that the Amy Winehouse or Kurt Cobain movie didn't do. So here they attempted it. They kind of attempted to address that, how people reacted to her death, but I think it could have been a bit more better. I think the ending was kind of could have been better. I think the ending could have been handled better when they kind of explain her death. I think that could have been handled better. But overall, it's actually it's a pretty good documentary. Top five documentaries. Then again, I don't watch that many documentaries to begin with. By that logic, the Amy Winehouse documentary would also be within my top five. The Kurt Cobain one would definitely be in my top five. That's for sure. Top two. Then Janis, yeah, Janis and Amy, and then maybe add one more documentary which I've seen. Deli Meal or Deli Food. I saw it earlier this year. Um, it's about Jewish food, so I'm like, sure, whatever. Um, Again, I haven't watched that many documentaries, so it really wouldn't matter to begin with. Maybe when I watch a few more documentaries, I would say top 5 or top 10 documentaries. But right now, haven't seen really that many documentaries, so fuck it. I should know Death of Superman. Superman Lives. I saw that documentary. That was actually a pretty good documentary. And I guess in a sense, it is a death of. It does explain the death of someone. It was the Tim Burton Superman movie that was supposed to be made in the '90s with Nick Cage. Um, I reviewed it. Check the channel. Yeah, but sorry if I've been off topic in this video. It's just that I don't talk about that many documentaries to begin with. That's the thing. Um, yeah, that's basically it. Um, Overall, though, it's actually a pretty solid movie. If you like Janis Joplin, definitely do check it out. That's the beauty of some of these documentaries. If you like a certain subject, um, definitely do check it out. So, if a certain subject interests you, definitely do check out a movie that's based on that subject. Again, a huge fan of Kurt Cobain. Who saw the album. Uh, so I so I saw the Kurt Cobain montage of heck documentary. Which I what the hell is that called anymore? Seriously, they renamed it like 3 times this year. Because at first it was called Montage of Heck, then it was called Kurt Cobain Montage of Heck, and now it's called Cobain Montage of Heck. So I need to check out. I'm gonna keep calling that Kurt Cobain Montage of Heck. Um, Maybe I'll shorten it to Montage of Heck from time to time, but then that just confused me with the song. So yeah, this one, Janis, Little Girl Blue, Janis Joplin, and then Little Girl Blue is one of her songs that she did. So that was pretty cool. Um, yeah. She's actually pretty. Janis Joplin. Yeah, she's pretty hot, or was hot for the time. Um, yeah, she's pretty hot. No, for some reason, she reminds me of one of my teachers, which is fucking weird. She reminds me of one of my teachers, which is just fucking weird. Um, or maybe two of my teachers. That again, just fucking weird. Um, so yeah, it's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Did I give this one a rate? I forgot the rate. On a rate from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Really solid documentary. Do check it out. I like the music. Again, I like the Janis Joplin music, so I downloaded it. She was like in 3 different bands. Don't ask me which ones, because I have no idea. Okay. I forgot the bands she was in. She was like in 2 or 3. what the first one she was in, she really liked it. The second one, she was kind of put in it, and she really didn't like it that much.